That was actually a very good question from a student and my mom. So, the beginning, we can see pauses, fermatas. So what I did was, hold and 2, 3, bum bum 1, 2, 3 and hold, brief, hold again and 2, 3, da da da. Now flow of the music, just flow, and then no more fermatas. Okay. So this is the part where I borrow Beethoven's da 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 and also my conducting skills, because this is a solution for it. Solution for what? It's actually the solution for my original vocal improvisation. Because in the improvisation, if I'm going to transcribe it with time signature, it's going to be too not regular, and that's the reason I use pauses to keep the time signature, but I can maintain the sound that I want, because one of the main things that I want to do with my music is that I don't want to change a thing in my improvisation, because I think improvisation is music because it's live performance and I want to keep the best one. And also in this section, the music is so slow, it's in lento. And I borrowed Mozart's music, which is Lacrimosa and Agnus Dei, into my Malaysian rainy day. And I slot in semiquavers and also triplets. And my cousin sisters told me it sounds like 天雨天巡. I'm not very sure, but that is Malaysian rainy day. I believe it's very similar to Singapore as well. The first section, which is the intro, it is the weather of Malaysia. You can actually hear it's raining. I love rainy day. And then the next section is also a repetition, a very similar variation from the starting, but the difference is in the accompaniment. The accompaniment is like Starry Night. And here's something I want to mention. I actually changed the time signature from 12/8 to 4/4, and that actually happens very naturally. And Zhongshan actually commented when we meet the other day. He said to me that 12/8 can actually wrote in 6/4, and I agree with that. And I also noticed there's some problem writing that because of the quavers that connect to the next bar. But it still makes sense while I wrote like this, so I didn't really put attention to that, but I'm going to remember my lesson here. But what I want to say is I still keep the sound of my improvisation, and that is the reason you see the change of time signature. Before this, I purposely changed the timing because I thought I have to do some changes, some variety, and then my music can be interesting. And this time it happens naturally. The next bit is section B, which is the Andante part. And here lies my identity as a Malaysian. Why? Because if you are also a Malaysian, you must be singing a lot of patriotic songs. Still feel some similarity in it. Da 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 dee 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 dee. That was originally before I extended the other 4 bars. But because I felt like there is the change of section is too quick, and that's why I better finish up the entire section. And then da 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 dee dee dee. The dee is my favorite vocal agility technique. And the next beat is I actually connect with this mi mi re mi. I'm sorry if I'm not on the pitch, but the melody is like this. Mi mi re mi. And because my accompaniment, there's some clashing there, and that's why I changed to da 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 da. Then I come back to da 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 da. And what is this section about is also the use of vocal, because this is a technique which is, I think, a very important technique. It's called unfold, because when we sing without awareness, it's going to be like this. And then there's no sustain of the tone. It cannot support harmony, and there's no beauty in vocal. What I actually mean is, if we throw the sound out there without doing anything to it, without increasing the resonance, increasing the volume, however you want to say, it's going to be yes, same note value, same volume, but it's different. It's not vibrato, but if I remove the vibrato, it's going to sound like this. It's more tight if we do not do the unfold technique. Okay, we better move on. I like to explore different genre of music, and Afro-Cuban is one of it. And before this, I actually played a lot of Afro-Cuban accompaniment for different songs, and here I put it into my Vocalise. This is section C, and I actually want to showcase my lyrical technique. And so what is happening in the accompaniment part was, before I decided to hire a pianist to play this piece, I actually wanted to use two hands to play the bass notes. I actually recorded it, and it's like so empty, and at the end, when I sit down again and really think of the sound that I want, and there is where my chords came in. And I remember one of my theory teacher, he was also an arranger. He said you have to have good choice of notes. And here comes my favorite, and also the part that I kill myself. I want to slot in a lot of running passages, running notes, because I want to showcase my vocal agility. And at the very beginning, I slot in too many notes, and it becomes too messy. And that is also what the lecturer that I mentioned just now, he said you have to give space in your writing, and now I apply it. I remove the excessive notes, and then I refer again to see how the great composers wrote their music. So one of the pieces that I refer to is by Ravel. Really, don't be afraid of the emptiness of the score. If you don't see many notes, that is okay, you know. So I tell myself, okay, I am enough, so just let it be empty as long as that is the sound that you want. And then I realized the soprano part, the voice part, can actually be like the flute part. And then I took some time to figure out the color, what is the effect that I actually want for this part. I know I want it to be like La Mer. because it's like so many colors. You just have to go to listen to La Mer, okay? And I go and sit down in front of my piano and then I played. At first I think maybe I want to use some pentatonic scale, and then I played, and finally I came out with this.